In Nigeria, 2 children in the northwestern state of Katsina have died as the region faces massive flooding caused by weeks of torrential rains. The children were in a building there that collapsed. On Thursday, the National Emergency Management Agency said at least 179 people across the country have died in the floods, while tens of thousands have been forced to flee their homes. Thousands of demonstrators gathered in Istanbul on Sunday to protest a new law that they worry will lead to many stray dogs being killed. Legislators cited safety concerns approving the law last month that aims to round up millions of strays to send them to animal shelters. But animal lovers say the country's shelters don't have enough room and it'll lead to dogs being put down.
Right now, though, let's have a look at this morning's Monday papers, shall we? And the pictures of those 6 Israeli hostages who were found dead in Gaza make the front page of The Guardian. Their discovery has led to what the paper calls this morning an eruption of public outcry against the Israeli government for a failure, they say, to reach a deal to bring the remaining hostages back home.
The Daily Mirror reports that almost 60 children a day were suspended from school for racism last year. That is an increase of 25% compared to the previous 12 months.
And this morning's Times newspaper states that businesses face paying thousands of pounds in fines if they don't uphold new protections for employees that are being introduced by the new Labour government as part of its overhaul on workers' rights.
Feels a little bit like the first day of term today, doesn't it?
It also feels like the first day of the week where everybody at work in every office across the country is only finding, did you get tickets for Oasis?
Yes, no.
And the answer is basically
no. We both failed. No.
We failed. But if you're thinking about the next gig that you might go to, it looks like it won't be Adele.
Oh, no. Why?
Adele is not going to be seen, she says, for an incredibly long time. She was performing in Munich over the weekend, a big stadium thing in front of 80,000 people. She's got a few concerts to be done in Las Vegas in November. And she says after that, she's having a break, a proper break. Well, she's done before, hasn't she? But it sounds like she's dead serious
So
about
that's
this.
not 2 weeks off, is it?
No, this is more than just a summer holiday. This is proper.
I wonder, will she go away, have a break and then start writing music again?
Yeah. But her last album was nearly 3 years ago.
She does this, though, does she? Has a big break and then comes back with, like, an amazing album.
Maybe
that's what it is.
She's up in the pressure for that dynamic pricing next time.
Adele has announced that she's going to be taking an extended break from music when she concludes her Las Vegas residency in November.
Yeah, she was speaking to fans at her final show in Germany on Saturday evening, and she said she's got 10 remaining shows in Vegas, and after that, she said, you won't see me for a very long time.
36-year-old has been touring and performing non-stop for almost 3 years now and said she's ready to get back to living her life. Now, so she says she's got 10 shows left in Las Vegas. Can you imagine the queues, the ticket queues for that? Phone. Trying to get a ticket for that.
We've had enough ticket issues, I think,
no
over the last few days. No more dynamic pricing.
I queued, and I didn't realise I was queuing for a queue.
Yeah, and then you got in the waiting room.
Yeah.
And then the queue for the waiting room?
Then I waited another 3 hours, then I gave up.
You don't have to wait any longer for Matt with the weather.
Ofsted inspectors will no longer rate state schools in England with one-word grades. An updated report system will come in next September. And learner drivers are warned to look out for fake adverts for lessons online after an increase in scams on social media.
I'm not letting anybody else put on the pointy hat.
Sir Ian McKellen talks Gandalf, falling off stage and why he has no plans to retire. And almost 2,000 years on, now on display in Highgate. Can you guess what this restored Roman discovery actually is?
Other news now, the former glamour model and singer Samantha Fox has been handed a 12-month community order and fined £1,000 after pleading guilty to being drunk and disorderly on a British Airways flight. The incident in December delayed a London to Munich flight by 12 hours. The court also heard Fox threatened a police officer who was called to remove her from the plane. And a lorry driver who crashed into a car while using his phone has been handed an 8-month suspended sentence. Dashcam footage shows 44-year-old Raymond Cattrall repeatedly looking down at his phone while driving along the A55 near Bangor when his lorry collided with a broken-down car last May and he narrowly avoided hitting a family. Cattrall pleaded guilty to a dangerous driving charge and to using a mobile phone at the wheel.
The BBC understands that 3 young children who were found dead with a man at a house in Staines were not previously known to social services. Neighbours believe a young Polish family with 3 boys, including twins, lived at the house. Surrey Police is investigating and has referred itself to the police watchdog due to previous contact with the family. And Great Northern and Thameslink services between Finsbury Park and Stevenage are facing major disruption today and into tomorrow due to a faulty rail near Hatfield in Hertfordshire, with disruption expected until at least 7 a.m. Network Rail says it's working with Network Rail to fix the problem as quickly as possible.
The family of the former England rugby player Rob Burrow have paid a visit to the Motor Neurone Disease Centre, which is being built in his name. His wife Lindsay and their 3 children left their handprints in the building's concrete foundations, which are being laid. Rob Burrow, who died earlier this year, had campaigned to raise awareness of MND after being diagnosed with it. And an expedition to the wreck of the Titanic has revealed new pictures of the ship's ongoing decay 100 years after it sank. The company, RMS Titanic Incorporated, which is heading up the search, also said it had recovered a number of items from the ship, including a bronze statue of the Roman goddess Diana.